The golf swing is the most misunderstood and one of the most complex movements in all of sports, but it's really made way more complicated than it really needs to be. In fact, if you think about it the right way, understanding the laws of physics and anatomy, the golf swing's made incredibly simple and easy to understand. Now, a lot of people get scared by these fancy terms using physics and anatomy and biomechanics and all that stuff. And the reason is because they've been kind of misused a lot of times and not used in a way that's really going to help the golfer. The reality is, if you understand the basic laws of physics and basic anatomy of what your body's being asked of in the golf swing, you'll start to understand every single swing flaw that you've ever had, believe it or not. The reason is that the golf club in itself is what most golf instructors focus on, and it's not the most important part of the swing. Your body is. This golf club by itself, completely useless. It can't do anything. I can throw it on the ground and say, hey, golf club, swing back here and swing yourself on plane and hit the ball. It can't do anything. It's not very smart. Your body is what tells that golf club what to do. So that seems pretty logical, right? So if our body is what's telling the club what to do, then what should you focus on in your golf swing? Well, the problem is most golf instructors focus on the golf club and telling the golf club to go somewhere and the golf club to do this. And then your job is to figure out how to manipulate it with your arms and hands and shoulders and whatever else. They don't seem to care, and make that club go somewhere. Well, that doesn't make any sense. The reality is that if you can focus on using your body to move that club, the club will go where you want it to. It's the chicken versus the egg story. You want your body to do something, and that will, as a result, cause the club to do the correct thing. So I'll give you an example. During the takeaway, most golfers tell you to put the club, or golf instructors, take the club, put it down the lines, down your toes here, and parallel the ground, toed up, etc. So if I do this, there's a lot of ways I can do this with a million different variables and a million different results because of that. So if I'm focusing on just moving the club all over the place, it's very hard to control. I can't see what's going on back here. So the tendency is for the club to go in someplace different every single time. And it's really hard to develop a sense of feel for that unless you practice and play golf all the time. Most golfers don't have that luxury. So you need to learn how to improve quickly, and that's what Rotary Swing is all about. Because instead of telling you to put the club over here and then you figure out how to do it, we tell you exactly how to move your body to do that. So for example, with the takeaway, instead of giving you some random target that you can't see back here to hit with the club, I'm going to tell you to take your right shoulder blade and pull your shoulder back 2 inches. So that's your whole takeaway movement. In Rotary Swing, that's the full takeaway. You're like, wait a second, you just showed me the moving the club 6 feet. You're barely moving at all. How's that going to equate to a takeaway? Well, let's see. If I take the club and I move my shoulder blade 2 inches, look what happened. The club went where I wanted it to. I didn't try and move the club at all. In fact, I just left it down there on the ground as far as I was concerned. I just focused on moving my shoulder blade 2 inches, and that moves my arms, which moves the club. The club is not the most important part, your anatomy is. If you understand how to move your body correctly, you'll understand how to make the golf swing incredibly simple. If you're chasing the golf club and trying to make it go into all these different positions without understanding what body movements do it, you'll be struggling for the rest of your life, I guarantee it. We all have the exact same muscles and they all attach in the exact same place. Therefore, we should all move the exact same way. I know it's a big arguing point in the golf swing that we all have this random DNA and we all have this swing DNA that we were born with and we just swing however we swing. Well, that's ridiculous. There's no other sport in the world that abides by that. If you watch Olympic powerlifting, does everybody do a clean and jerk differently? Well, no, they all look exactly the same because they found the most efficient way to do it. Golf is no different. We have found the most efficient way to move your body in order to get the club to move the way you want it to. That's what Rotary Swing is all about. We move your body, that moves the club, that creates the physics of the swing, and then things are really simple. So you can choose to kind of subscribe to the theory that everybody's different and there's 20 million different golf swings out there, or you can learn how to move the right way and make golf simple for yourself. If that sounds interesting, go to RotarySwing.com right now, sign up for a free membership, and start watching some of the videos. They're all free to start out, and you're gonna see that logically, everything just starts falling into place. You're gonna be, oh yeah, well that does make sense, and oh, I guess I do need to understand some basic stuff, and oh, well this is way simpler to do it this way. Why wouldn't I do it that way? All of a sudden, the golf swing will start becoming really clear to you, and it will be made simple.